Hey, Destiny Youth, I'm Brian, and here we're going to talk about relationships. Yes, relationships. It's close to Valentine's Day, and whether, it's a big deal for you or for some people, well, Valentine's Day is not a big deal, but it's important that we get God's perspective on what relationships is really about. So we're going to talk about relationships today, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you a principle. So the first principle I want to give you today is that relationships, real relationships, is not about what you have. The basis of any real relationship is not about what you have. And I'll explain that with a story from my own life. See, when I was in high school and when I was a freshman or sophomore, I didn't have a vehicle, and none of my friends had any vehicles. And in fact, nobody around us in our group that we hung out with had any vehicles or cars. But over time, we found someone who had vehicles, and be honest, we would use them. We would ride around in their vehicles, and we would hang out with them. Whenever we needed to go somewhere. Well, later on, we became a senior, and even in the first year of college, the tables were turned. I'm the one that had the car, and everybody was hanging around me when they wanted to ride. Until one of my friends brought something illegal into my car. And guess who got in trouble? Yeah, it was me. And then I realized the words that my dad had been telling me all the time, that everybody who is with you is not for you. And the Bible says it this way, in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 6. The Bible says, many seek the favor of a generous man, and everyone is a friend to a man who gives gifts. Basically what the Bible is saying is trying to encourage us, to warn us about, is what a real relationship is about. It's not about what you have. It's not about what you can offer to people. You may be one who has a lot of things to offer. You may have some things that attract people. You may have athletic talent. You may have some creative talent or creative ability. You may have good looks. You may have popularity. But God is trying to tell us what real relationships is about. It's not about what you have, but a real relationship, a God-honoring relationship, a relationship that's honoring you. It's not about what you have. It's about someone who cares about you as a person. Yes, relationships, real relationships, is about someone who cares about you as a person. Well, the biggest question about that is, how do I know if I have a real relationship? How do I know if someone is relating to me on that level, that they actually care about me? Well, a good sign is we get from the Bible once again in the book of Proverbs. We're going to get this from Proverbs chapter 27, verse 6. And it says, faithful are the runes of a friend. Now, I know that sounds weird, right? You got runes and something that hurts, and you got friend. Well, how's that mix? And how's that give me a real relationship? Well, in essence, this is what the Bible is saying. It's saying a real friend, someone who cares about you as a person, is someone who is willing to tell you the truth, sometimes even when you don't want to hear it. Someone who is willing to tell you the truth, to keep you from going the wrong way because they love you, because they care about you. That's what a real relationship is all about. A real relationship is not about what you have, but it's about someone who cares about you as a person. And this applies not only to how we relate to other people, but this applies also to our relationship with God. Because in this way, God is also a friend to us. See, God gives us His truth. He tells us the truth about ourselves because He wants the best for us, and He doesn't want us to go the wrong way. And also, God doesn't love us for what we have, or He doesn't love us because of what we offer to Him, but He loves us because He's full of love. In fact, the Bible says it this way: God showed His love for us, that while we were sinners, while we were still doing wrong, while mankind was still in the wrong in His relationship with God, He sent His Son Jesus to die for us. The Bible also says this: God chose us before the foundation of the world. That means before God created this universe, before God created the world, before He said, let there be light, or before He said, let us make man, He chose you, and He loved you. That means that He didn't love you because of what you have or what you offer. He loved you before you did anything to deserve that love. God is a friend who gives you truth, and He loves you. And we should seek real relationships. We should seek people who loves us in that way, that loves us not for what we have, but who loves us because they care about us as a person. Well, friends, that's a little bit about relationships. So tune in next week as we talk a little bit more from God's perspective on what real relationships is about. All right, see you next week.